Let's discuss attack planning within the builder base, specifically at Builder Hall Level 4. What is going on, guys? Judo Sloth here, and welcome to this episode where we are going to discuss attacks and different strategies you can use for planning your attacks within the Builder Hall. So, we were just having a couple of attacks nice and casually, but I thought these would be good to share with you. Make sure to drop me a like on the video if you do enjoy it, and drop a comment down below with any tips you have. For all of you newcomers to the channel, please make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date with all of my videos. But let's get into this. So the first attack I had just a couple of minutes ago was against this base, who, as you can see, is actually a Builder Hall level 5 because he attacked me with the cannon cart. So what are we going to do against this base, guys? Well, straight away you can see that we have a few gaps within the walls here. Now, I did bring you an episode yesterday focusing on the giants and archers. Now, that is something you have to be checking for with these bases. Are you going to lose giants to spring traps? So actually, getting straight into the attack, what we're going to do is try and snipe off some buildings first. Now, I always recommend that you guys look for any free snipes, especially if you can snipe a defense. So with the archers, this cannon here right at the side is easy to take out with the archers. Are there any buildings you can take out, any cannons with minions? It's not really worth taking minions in this attack because most of the buildings are surrounded by air targeting defenses. There's not really many that we could take that we couldn't take with archers. So actually, I'm going to take a couple of buildings at the top here just for that extra percent, and to make sure that my archers inside the base don't get distracted and start shooting outside the base. So once that is done, I'm going to start with a couple of archers down on that cannon whilst they are invisible. Now, that is a big tip, guys. Make sure you're using that invincibility. Don't put the giants in until the archers are about to lose their invincibility. Now, just testing this spot where the spring trap might be, I didn't want all of my giants getting sprung off, so I was just sprinkling them in front of the archers, and I noticed how I came from the other side, from the mortar and the crusher, to make sure that my giants didn't get blasted by that either. So now that the archers are onto the Builder's Hall, with this strategy, guys, it really is a 2-star strategy. So almost went horribly wrong there with the multi-mortar, but we got through it. The giants continued to push forward. We're actually going to get the crusher down with the archers, and then be able to take this double cannon and get some extra percent. So against a Builder Hall level 5, guys, this was not a bad result. Getting close to the 90% 2-star puts you in good stead for the victory. So really, guys, making sure you're scouting the base, looking for any free snipes, whether that be minions, archers, whatever you can take. If you are taking archers, check out the mega bomb here. This is so unfortunate. Just when you think we're about to get better percentage, boom, archers go down. Make sure you're sniping them buildings. Make sure the archers are tanking when they're invisible, and taking out the buildings before you bring in the giants to tank, sorry. So moving on to a few others, I did have a horrible loss here, and that's one thing, guys, you will have failed raids. Just grow over it and make sure you continue practicing, because that's the only way you're going to get better. So looking at this one, I really want to talk about the adaptability of your strategy. So with this one, you can see that we do have air coverage at the bottom here by the crusher, and the attacker clearly wants us to come in from this side. But this is where, at Builder's Hall 4, the bombers are amazing, guys. Look, if we come in from the back there, the giants aren't going to hit the crusher until right at the end of the base. So I use one giant to tank the archer tower, get the bombers straight in to open it up, and you'll see the giant even turns around and redirects himself into the base. From there on this base, it's very easy to funnel the archers in, so I actually only took one camp of archers because I really wanted the giants to tank through all of these defenses, and as long as they did, I only needed that one group of archers. The bombers there still going ham on the walls at the side, brilliant stuff, but they did their job. They got us into the base, and without them, the giants and archers would have went right the way around the side, and this would have been an epic fail. So make sure you're looking for that, guys. Have a look at where the attacker wants you to attack from. 90% of the time, you're going to be better coming from the opposite side as a general rule of thumb. So we just miss out here on getting that archer tower and a couple of extra percentage, but it is enough to get the victory. So adapting our style a little bit there helped us to get that one down. Moving on to the final attack here then, again just helping you to plan your strategies. So at first when I was planning this, I brought the bombers again to come through this bottom side of the base and push towards the town hall, the builder's hall, because of the crusher at the back. But the more I looked at it, and once I started the attack, I decided to bring minions in from the top here, because if I could get that crusher down before the giants, then they would move forward. So as long as the Tesla wasn't in this area, which if it is, we can go to plan B and come from the opposite side of the base. So coming through, we have the minions first, just speeding up through that area. They're going to start taking out this. If you can get to these cannons, it would be perfect, but the firecracker and archer tower is well within range. So this is the moment of truth. Will they go to the crusher? And I was pretty confident at this point that they would. So they move across, perfect there, gonna be able to get the crusher down. But look at the free percentage on the other side of the base here, guys. So make sure you're not forgetting that. Although I decided to come in from this area by the crusher, I didn't want to forget about that percentage. So I bring an archer in to start taking out these camps, and I also bring in a minion on this side just because the archer tower is that little bit further away. Wouldn't have really mattered if I'd have brought the archer in on that side anyway, but we did need some archers to come in and get the builder's hall, so I wanted to protect as many of them as I could. Since we're not coming in from this side of the base, we might as well bring the bombers in, see if they can get some splash damage on these defenses. But again, there they are, going for the wall, just as they are programmed to do. Well, they go for anything, guys, but they always seem to go to the walls for me. So it's working very well. I tried to sneak in the minion here to this archer tower, because if I thought we could get that down, then we might be able to snipe off some of these other buildings without the Tesla getting us. Just don't get it down, but we end up with the 73% 2-star, and that was certainly enough to get the victory on that attack. Now let's go ahead and show you the fail, guys, show you exactly why it failed. Now this is going to happen, so again on this base, looking at it, it was quite tricky. I can easily get some percentage at the bottom here with minions, but the archer towers do have brilliant range there. So I started trying to get some of the buildings. I knew I wasn't really going to get in for the cannons, so I decided to bring the bombers in next to the builder's hall. So I only used 2 minions at the bottom here, didn't want to use any more, because if I could get the giants into the archer towers, I could then bring the minions in on the back in order to get that percentage afterwards. So we lost a giant pretty much straight away, another one is going down, bombers have cleared this area, and the archers are onto the builder's hall. Some brilliant trap trolling from the opponent, but look at how crazy this is, and everything just went down, absolutely devastating, so I had to bail out at that point. Good job I held on to them minions in order to get the 1-star. So that is where, if I'd have put the minions in at the start, I would have completely failed. But if the raid had have turned out well, then I would have been able to be successful. So as you can see, my opponent only got the 1-star as well. So if it had went a little bit better, we would have got the victory. So I hope you enjoyed that episode, guys. Let's maybe go into a live attack and we can, you know, see what we find here. Again, it's very difficult to commentate live here. So looking at this base, we have the crusher at the start. So that is going to be very difficult to take out. The opponent wants us to come in from that side, but we do have this little troll area on the opposite side. I think we're going to go with giants and archers, guys. I don't think we're going to take the bombers just because they're not going to add too much value. The giants should be drawn straight to where that firecracker is. Let's just make sure there's no other buildings on the outside. So what we're going to do, make sure that we can get a good enough funnel. I'm going to put a couple of archers on either side here. And then just as that invincibility is about to go, we're going to pop a giant in on either side to tank for the cannons. Make sure that they go down. Now for some reason the giants have split up and they're going around the side of the base. Not sure what that's about. Hopefully the archers can get that cannon on the right hand side. Looks like they will. Then we're going to try and make a bit of a funnel here on the left. I'm not sure why the troops have gone ahead and done this, guys, but they have. We've just got to get on with it. So the giants are into the base. They're now starting to tank. Really want the archers to go in there, but we haven't created a very good funnel here. I think they're going to walk around the side of the base. So that is again where, it's quite difficult. You can fail the attack. Some of the archers are in. They're now starting to go onto the builder's hall. This might turn out alright, guys. So we have the giants. That push trap was perfect from our opponent. Pushed them straight onto the crusher. So we did get the 2-star. Think we're going to just run out of archers here in terms of the arch tower at the back. But again, we're going to get a pretty good percentage 2-star. So that is going to get us into the 80%, 83%. Hopefully that's enough to get the victory. I'm feeling pretty good about that, guys. So it was really, I was surprised the giants went around the side, but it was just trying to sprinkle the archers in order to compensate for that and make sure that they took out the cannons whilst the giants were tanking. So on this one, he's just spreading the archers around. That's not really going to get anywhere in terms of getting the 2-star. So that will wrap it up for this one. Again, leave a like on the video, guys, if you did enjoy it. Make sure to drop me any comments as well if you have any feedback on attacks and planning. I've been your host, Judo Sloth. Make sure to subscribe for more Clash of Clans, and until next time, peace out, guys.
Stay tuned for more Clash of Clans.